Hotep, peace. My name is Ra M. Hotep. You're tuned into 13scienceastrology.com. That's the number 13, science plural, astrology.com. Doing this video today because came out of a meditative state, and I was guided by my guides, those beings that I'm in contact with, to speak on the conspiracy that is taking place right now as we speak to dominate, manipulate, and control you. That's what it's all about. And I know when you tune into 13scienceastrology.com, you guys be like, man, this nigga always got something deep to talk about or something serious to talk about. Like he's from the Sirius star constellation. I just really don't have a lot of time for games. And a whole lot of idle talk. If you're looking for that type of information, there are plenty of stations out there you can tune into. If you want to just sit around and watch Basketball Wives, and I don't even know the names of these shows. I'm probably messing up the names and butchering the names, but so what? If you want to sit around and watch Basketball Wives and watch the Tiny Show and, you know, listen to this lower chakra music and things of this nature, you need to probably go tune into those channels if you're into that. But if you really are trying to free your mind and trying to redeem your mind, trying to salvage your mind, then you're tuned into the right place. Now I want to first say, and want to make this really clear, those of you that are really tied into these religious schools of thought are just as bad as the people that are, you know, tied into the mundane, dancing with the stars and all of this stuff or whatever. You're just like those people. And the reason why I say that is because you're caught up in a fairy tale. You don't realize how serious this stuff is. You don't realize that when you talk about your devil concept, because this is what I'm going to be going into a little bit in this video. This video is not about the devil, but I'm going into this a little bit in this video. When you touch on your devil concept and the concept of the devil, you're thinking of some guy with a pitchfork in hell somewhere and there's fire surrounding him, and when you die, you're going to go to this hell fire, and you don't realize the devil is right here amongst you. See, because the reason why you don't realize this is because when you're reading your scriptures, your Bible and your Quran, all of you, I mean, your Old Testament, all of this, when you're reading these scriptures, you're not reading them in the original languages, and that's the problem. And you don't realize this devil they talk about, and even in the scriptures they say that he was cast to earth. See, the devil has been cast in this earth and has been on this earth before Homo sapiens, or this version of Homo sapiens, ever got here. And this devil that they speak of is a reptilian, extraterrestrial being. And he does not like you. He does not like you. He uses you. He may give you information. He psychically puts thoughts into your mind. He uses telepathic powers to enforce his will and to put his will over on you in your mind to get you to do his bidding for him. But he does not like you. And this devil is a physical being existing on the third and fourth dimension, living inside of the earth, of what you would call hell, but really he lives inside of the earth. And he uses and contacts beings telepathically and gets them to do his bidding for them. This group that you call the Illuminati is in contact with this so-called devil, but he's really a reptilian, extraterrestrial being. And he wants the surface of the planet for himself. And his main act of warfare right now is to poison the surface of the planet so that he can kill and wipe out all of you Homo sapiens and all of you people that want to sit around and watch and dance with the stars and the Grammy Awards and all of these things. Yeah, he's going to wipe out the surface of the planet and rid you and get you out of here. And basically he wants to have this planet for himself. This has been his plan from the beginning. This devil was actually in the Orion star constellation at one point, and he was cast out, and they ran him out, and now he's here on earth. So when they talk about in the scriptures the devil was cast out of the heavens and he came to earth, there was a fight and a war between Michael, the Archangel Michael, and this devil. And this can be read about briefly in the book of Revelations, but it can be understood even more deeply in older ancient texts, which I won't go into here. But this devil was cast out by the archangel, which you call the archangel Michael, which is really another extraterrestrial himself. But one group of extraterrestrials that are benefic extraterrestrials and benevolent extraterrestrials casted out this devil from the Orion star constellation, and he inhabited this earth. And this is way before man or Homo sapiens got here. So this reptilian being was cast out into the waters of this planet. And he lived in the waters and in the caverns of this planet, which scientists have found out about. There are caverns in this planet. I'm not making any of this up. You can go research this information if you want to know more about this information. But there are caverns in this planet. And this devil lives within the caverns and the waters of this planet, and he's a reptilian being. And when the certain group of extraterrestrials that created you, what you call God, when he created man, you call him God, but this is a certain group of extraterrestrials, or a group actually, called the Elohim. When they created man, they're not the same as these reptilian beings. When they created man, the reptilian or the devil was upset. He became your adversary. This is why you call him the adversary. He doesn't like you. And he's poisoning the food. He's poisoning the water. He's poisoning the air. And he's doing all of these things. And I'm going to go into here mainly dealing with the food. You see, the devil is at war with you, and it's through your food. And I don't care if you call yourself Christian, Muslim, or Jew. At the end of the day, if you're consuming foods that aren't organic, and you're consuming foods that are man-made, you're consuming the devil's food. You see, because the devil has created a food, and the food is based on the fact that it is a non-organic food, it's a man-made food, and it's a genetically modified food. And they have these genetically modified foods on the market right now, and they're selling them to you all day. They're selling them to you at McDonald's, they're selling them to you at Burger King, they're selling them to you at Wendy's, they're selling them to you at White Castles, they're selling them to you at Checkers, they're selling them to you at Pizza Hut, they're selling them to you at, what's the name of that place? TGI Fridays, they're selling them to you at all of these places, Church's Chicken, all of this stuff. This is a genetically modified food. They're genetically modifying chickens now. Genetically modifying chickens. You see, what the devil does is he creates something called problem, reaction, solution. And David Icke, I actually got this concept from David Icke. He talks about this in a lot in his books. And what you guys fail to realize is that he creates the problem, you react to it, and then he provides you the solution. And I'm going to give you an example. He created the bird flu. He created the bird flu. You react to it. He genetically modifies and clones a bird that's saying that this bird cannot catch the bird flu. He introduces this bird or this chicken on the market, and now you eat this genetically modified chicken and you accept this because he created it. He created the problem, and you accept it. And now you're eating genetically modified chicken that is not organic, that is not made from God or nature or whatever you want to call this higher entity. This was created by a being and a man that channeled and sent his mind and put his mind into the side of certain scientists and used these scientists for his bidding so that they can sit in the laboratory and create these genetically modified chickens and serve them to you on the market, and you call this eating chicken. He created genetically modified beef. You hear about the mad cow and things like that. He creates a problem, mad cow. You react to it, get sick. He creates the solution. Now you're eating a genetically modified cow. Right now, at KFC, at Burger King, at McDonald's, at Wendy's, you're not eating real beef that was made from God, but then you call yourself a Christian. You call yourself a Muslim. You call yourself a Jew. But then you call, well, Jews, now some of the Jews aren't doing it. They're still eating organic foods or halal foods and things of that nature. Now, don't get it twisted. All halal foods are not non-genetically modified source, because some of the halal foods are just certified halal based on somebody praying over it. And I'm sorry, praying over something is not going to save you in this day. If you're not getting an organic source, meaning a natural source that is farm raised, straight from the farm and shipped to you directly from local farmers, then you're eating a genetically modified food that was made in the laboratory. And then I don't care if you call it halal, you can call it whatever you want to call it, kosher, halal, things of this nature. The Muslims have something called kosher. You better make sure that cow is a real cow and this wasn't genetically modified. before you eat it. You really shouldn't be eating the meat, but I'm saying if that's what you're going to do. But I'm taking it even a step higher. What I'm saying is that they're even doing it with the vegetables. So to us vegetarians, see, I don't eat genetically modified vegetables, thanks to me doing research and things of that nature, but many of us vegetarians are totally ignorant to the fact that they're splicing the genes and putting rat genes inside of bananas. They're putting all type of different animals' DNAs inside of tomatoes. They're using unnatural pesticides to give shelf life to these tomatoes, to these avocados, and all of these different vegetables that you eat. You see, and they're adding artificially intelligent DNA inside of these foods, and it's even happening with the vegetables. You see, so this stuff is going on or whatever, and this is the devil's food. This is the devil's food, and it's actually a war that's going on with these extraterrestrials, and they're poisoning your food. They're poisoning your water. You have fluoride in the water. You have all these things in the water, and the water might look cool to you. You put it in the cup, and you run the water like, well, it looks clear to me, but let it sit around for a minute and let those chemicals subside inside of the cup, and you look at what you're really consuming when you drink the water straight out of a faucet. It's poison. It's poison. He's poisoning your water because he wants to kill you. Doesn't want to see you on the planet. So when you hear about the Illuminati wanting to wipe out 2/3 of the planet and things of this nature, what you don't realize is that they're already at war against you. They're already doing it. They're already wiping out 2/3 of the planet. And it's a silent war. They're doing it through the food. They're doing it through the water. They're poisoning your water. So if you're not drinking alkaline, not only just alkaline, but clean spring water or clean distilled water, because all spring water isn't good for you either, depending on the source. But if you're not drinking good water, basically I'll put it this way, then you're being duped. You're being tricked. You're being hoodwinked, and you're being bamboozled. And it's all in the name of you being ignorant because you're relying on a pastor, you're relying on a imam, you're relying on a rabbi, you're relying on the news to come on TV and tell you that one day that you shouldn't eat this or that because it's bad. They're not going to tell you anything, because all of these networks that I just named, from the imam on down to the news media, they're all controlled by a group of extraterrestrial beings, reptilians. And they don't have you in their best interest, and they don't have you in their hearts. You see, so you have to stop consuming their food. Genetically modified foods are no good. No good. You have to stop consuming them. Those of you that are addicted to sugar, and they call yourself vegetarians and call yourself Muslims, you eat this sugar, you don't realize, and I'm going to do a whole video on this, you don't realize that this sugar is filtered through pig blood and cow blood. And you call yourself a Muslim, but anytime you eat sugar, you saying you don't eat pork, you are eating pork, because they're putting pork in the sugar. And I don't mean to sound harsh here, but I'm just like really fed up with these religious nuts out here that try to convert people to their different schools of thought, but then they're still eating the devil's food, and they're feeding into the same conspiracy that they call the devil. They're feeding into it because they're totally ignorant, and they're waiting for somebody to tell them that the devil is an extraterrestrial and that he's really a physical being, when nobody's going to tell you that. The pastor's not going to tell you that because he can't. The imam can't tell you that because they probably don't know, or if they do know, they're up under oath and can't tell you. So I'm going to tell you, you need to stop eating these foods and eat from the Garden of Eden, which is the Garden of Nature. You see, this is what the Garden of Eden is really talking about. In the Garden of Eden, the Most High, Elion, the Elohim, instructed you not to eat any food unless it had a seed attached to it. Unless it had a seed attached to it. So you're not supposed to be taking, and then you go, and that's another thing that you do. Then you go to the pharmaceutical companies, and you go to these doctors that take a Hippocratic oath. You go to these doctors and you expect them to help you get out of this situation when they're taking an oath and swearing allegiance to the very same reptilian devil, whether they know it or not, that they're swearing allegiance to this reptilian devil and taking an oath, raising their right hand saying, I will do X, Y, and Z or whatever based on a Hippocratic oath. So they can't even offer you herbs. They can't offer you herbs. And this is why some of your doctors aren't doing it. Now, you have some doctors that broke away from this, and I'm not saying all of them. I'm not beating up on every doctor, but I'm saying there's many doctors out here that cannot offer you a solution of any herbs. They can't do it because they're up under oath. I mean, come on, what do you expect them to do? Tell you the truth? They're up under oath. You see, so they're poisoning your the foods. They're poisoning the air with chemtrails. This is the reptilians doing all of this. That's what I'm saying. You think the government is not going to tell you the truth because they're in cahoots with them. How you think all this technology is coming out? The reptilians gave it to them. They're in cahoots with them, and they just basically want to keep extracting money and raping the people. They're selling out their own human brother for some alien extraterrestrial being. They don't care anything about you. And the reason why they're doing this is because they are scared themselves. Your government rulers and officials are even scared of these beings because these beings are very powerful. Very powerful. And they are a group, and it's real. I'm not making this stuff up. This is real. It's a group of extraterrestrial beings that have it out for you. And they're going to wipe out 2/3 of the population. They're doing it right now. By spraying up the sky with chemtrails, doing all of this stuff. I mean, all these STDs. This is all, where do you think these STDs are coming from, and these AIDS and all of this stuff? I'm going to do a video on AIDS. This is all a part of the reptilian agenda to kill you, to get you hooked to their medication. Problem, reaction, solution. You get sick, problem. You get sick with something. Which is actually the reaction as well. You react to it by getting sick. And then the solution is you go to their doctors or you go to them to get cured and healed. And they don't cure or heal you. They make you more sick. You see? So stop feeding into this reptilians game and wake up to these genetically modified foods and ingredients and the poison and manipulation of your water and your ecosystem and this artificial weather that they're creating. I mean, wake up to this stuff. Wake up to this stuff. It's really time to wake up. So until we meet again, that's going to do it for me. Eat right, eat clean, read the ingredients. Don't allow any excuses to come up in your mind as to it costs more to get organic foods. There is a solution to this. It costs more to get organic foods. I can't eat organic foods because it costs too much. Well, sacrifice something that you're doing, that you're spending money on. Sacrifice the drugs that you're taking in. Sacrifice spending money on these movies, the movie theater. Sacrifice watching Dancing with the Stars and work some extra hours at your job so that you can afford this. I'm serious. Sacrifice something so that you can eat right. And when you eat the right food, you'll eat less. You'll eat less, and you'll get more nutrients from the foods, and it'll heal you. If you want more information in regards to this, I do offer consultations where I teach people how to detox. I teach you, what to eat, what not to eat, if you need help or outside assistance, but the information is out there. I'm just simply providing information. And it's out there if you want to research it. But if you need guided help, I understand some people do. I am a food coach and a food trainer, and I will help you. You can go to my website for more information, 13signsastrology.com, or send me an email, 13signsastrology@gmail.com, or you can follow me at Twitter @Master Ra'imhotep. Until we meet again, peace and love.